Wow. Okay. I see what's going on. Wow. Anyway, show boy reaction police all the way down here in the Milton Keynes. Hollering at you. What happened yesterday? You know what? For fairness sake, I deliberately took a day off to kind of ruminate on the result yesterday, ruminate on the game that we played. Took time out to kind of relax, calm, don't respond like, like under the whole heated situation, because you might say things you don't mean, or you might just say something out of line. So I just said, you know what, take a day out, think things through, you know, and come back and have a chat about this. Wow. What happened yesterday? I mean, let's be honest, right? I want you all to see my face here. Right, let's be honest, right? Once in a while, every team dips. Once in a while, we go through a situation where we don't play too well, and the other team is on fire, or it could be the referee that is terrible, or you're just having a bad day. And in such days, you might get a poor result. Yesterday was not one of those days. Yesterday was a scary day, because what yesterday showed was a confirmation of what happened against Manchester City, which is not about the 10 men, but the fact that Liverpool does not have a structured approach to playing games. So if we meet a team that is very organized, especially offensively, we are in trouble. That's what it shows. And it's been a day. It's been 24 hours of virtually crucifying of Lovren. Klopp has come out to kind of shed the blame. Understandable to a point. He's basically said, don't blame just Lovren. Blame everybody in defense. Blame everybody playing. I see his point. I'm also not the type that likes to put all my blame on one person. Lovren had a terrible day, to be fair. But I keep saying, and maybe I'm biased, but I keep saying it does not help defenders if the defensive midfielders are rubbish. It does not help defenders. No matter how good you are, you will meet very, very good offensive teams. And if your defensive midfielder is not good enough, they would open you up. And that's what happened yesterday, unfortunately. I know, yes, Lovren made one or two silly mistakes. But when Lovren left, the same thing continued. The team just is not good enough, because there is something wrong. Very, very, very wrong with something with our defense strategy. I mean, let's look at the second goal. Everybody said yes. Lovren jumped, mistimed it. Then Harry Kane was free, was going towards goalpost. What's the name of this guy? Son was now running down. Milner was chasing. Milner was very slow. Son got into position. The pass came through. Easy goal. The question we should be asking is, was it Milner that was supposed to have been chasing Son? Think about that. Because if someone makes a mistake and it overjumps, right, and the attacker gets the ball and is breaking in, right, immediately Matip runs to try and cover for him. Where was Hendo? Why was it that, if you look at the strategy of the game, Hendo is a sitting defensive midfielder. Milner and Chan are the midfielders that go forward and back. So Hendo should have been the person chasing Son. And with his long legs and relative pace, if he was in the right position to fall back and chase Son, he probably would have saved the ball. Well, that's if he doesn't deflect the ball into the net. He would probably have saved the ball from getting in and being scored by Son. But he was out of position. Also, where was Gomez? I appreciate that it was a fast break, right? But when the ball gets to the goalkeeper, everybody should fall back into shape. That is the basic principle of football. But everybody Liverpool is so lackadaisical these days. Everybody just walks, jogs. You know, you're not. It's as if they don't take the game seriously enough. You know. So when someone makes a mistake, it's just an automatic opportunity at scoring. You know. So when you think about it, Henderson did not play his role as a defensive midfielder. Maybe the reason is he is not a defensive midfielder. He's a box-to-box player. He can come back to help out. One-to-one is quite good with getting the ball back. But he's not a defensive midfielder by nature. He doesn't know how to position himself to help the defense. All our goals are coming from the middle. Look at the goal, the through ball from Jonjo Shelvey against Newcastle. That through ball should not happen, because if Henderson was in his right position, he would not let that through ball happen. But he was out of position again. And this is the problem. We don't have a robust defensive midfielder. And that is why our defenders always struggle. So Klopp takes off Lovren, moves Matip to the right, and plays Gomez in on left centre back. Now Gomez is not experienced, so he's still out of position a lot of times. Matip has to now play two defenders' roles. After the instructions he has received to play in left, I mixed it up, left and right, on the other side of the pitch, he's now suddenly found himself in a situation where he's got to play in left centre back, plus work with Gomez in trying to hold back one of the world's best strikers. How do you expect that's going to turn out? You know? So overall, I don't think Klopp did a good job of game planning ahead of that match. He took things for granted. The players themselves took things for granted. But let's try and take some positives out of it. Who played well? Salah was all over the pitch. He tried to play well. Moreno made some good runs. You know, Milner was hardworking because you could see that he wanted to make a point. He wasn't great, but he was very hardworking. You know, Gomez, when he was on the right wing, was quite robust until he came back, and then we don't know whether it was Milner that was right wing or it was Chan that was right wing. Or we just got confused as to what was going on after Lovren left. Who was terrible? Mignolet was terrible. And to an extent, you see, these things happen in football. To be fair, Mignolet he has made some ridiculously good saves this season, you know, that even world-class goalkeepers couldn't have made. So for that, I give him his respect. Once in a while, he makes silly mistakes. And the unfortunate thing is when he makes those mistakes that idiots all come out screaming, this is the reason why we should buy another goalkeeper. This is the reason why we should sell him. He's not good enough for Liverpool. When he's saving penalties and saving incredible chances, everybody keeps quiet. He didn't have a great game, fine. That does not mean Mignolet is not Liverpool number one. He is, and he will continue to be. That goalkeeper is a good goalkeeper. He just had a bad day, and he had a bad day because he had a bad defense and a bad defensive midfield. If you've got the best players in the world putting pressure on you like that, there's no way. I mean, how won't you concede goals? Fair point. He made some blunders, and yes, that's fine. But don't crucify Mignolet because he has saved a lot of chances that are actually point-winning saves. Okay, so let's go through that. Matip, I believe Matip worked twice as hard as he normally did. It doesn't help when the best or your best partner, defensive partner, is removed for playing poorly. automatically you start to worry. Automatically you're kind of not quite sure of your defensive strategies anymore. And that's the reason why I think he kind of started panicking a little bit. But I mean, it overall it was just poor. Chan trying to overplay for trying to win a new contract or show Juventus that he's a good player or listen. Chan is just what I've always said he was, potential. He's got potential to be world class, but that's where he's comfortable. He just doesn't want to get better. He's just like, is that Klopp is not developing him well, or he's comfortable in that his mediocre, potentially world class player position. He's got so much talent. He can dribble. He's got long range shots. He can head the ball. He's got good positioning sense. But the complete player doesn't come out. And that's really sad. Henderson, I've given up on Henderson. Honestly speaking, I just cannot like him anymore. He doesn't have the gait of a footballer. He doesn't have the positional sense. Sometimes he sends passes and you kind of think, for someone that is so poor, are you sure that pass was not a lucky pass? I mean, he passes directly to opponents. He panics. There's no creativity there. I don't know. It's just my opinion, but Henderson is not the answer to our midfield. Now, if you have a good defensive midfielder, and you have Henderson as one of the forward busting midfielders, he will play well. Because there's something about the way he plays. When he's making attacking runs, his aggressive attack and the way he plays towards the offense is actually better. It wakes the team up, sort of. But nah, man. Overall, I just don't think. And because the midfield were not creative, they left Firmino just doing absolutely nothing. We played with 10 men yesterday because Firmino didn't touch the ball. He probably touched the ball twice in the whole game. And when they replaced him with Sturridge, I just thought, Klopp, what are you doing? Do you think Sturridge will make things better? No. Nobody's feeding the attackers, so how do you expect him? You want him to fall back and then join the midfield, and then when he joins the midfield, there's nobody to pass the ball to in front. And sometimes I just sit down and I think, so when you watch the games like this, you ask yourself, what do we do in training? What does Liverpool do in training? Because we don't have any attackers. I said we don't have any proper strikers. Ames has not been encouraged to play to play. Sturridge is no longer the man he used to be. Solanke is a kid. We have no striker, so we have no focal point. All these players continue dribble and shoot from some ridiculous angle because there's no focal point to pass to. We play the ball and we're always playing playing wide and when you play wide, you cross the ball, there's nobody in the box. Always, all the time. You play the ball, you see them sideways to the side, cross the ball in, there's nobody. Then when occasionally maybe the one person busts in, instead of to cross the ball into the 18-yard box, they cross it up towards the second corner. And it's just an absolute sham. So the strikers, unfortunately, Firmino and Sturridge, they might as well not have just even played yesterday, And the feedback we get from Klopp is, oh sorry, we've learned from this and we're going to work on it. And then you come back and it's exactly the same thing. Do you ask, what do you guys do in training? Stretch? Because all the time, all the pictures we see on LFC TV is stretching. I don't know, man. But let's be positive. Let's be positive and think, okay, that's a one-off. To be fair, Chelsea has lost ridiculously in the past. They didn't kill themselves. A couple of years ago, was it last year? We beat Man City 4-1 after we lost the Carling Cup at the time. Man United have lost over 4-0 a lot of times. Man City have lost. So Chelsea have lost. So at the end of the day, let's be fair. Everybody goes through that situation where they lose ridiculously. We're going to come back. The interesting thing is when Mane comes back, the team will change. Confidence will go up again. Everybody will kind of wake up to their game and to their responsibilities, and you will just see the effect that one person can make in a team. So I believe that the next game we'll probably win it 5-0. It's very possible, and that's if Mane is back. So it's not a club out. It's not yet panic time, though. A bit disappointed with the way. To be honest, very disappointed with the way he was pointing fingers, blaming players, when what he should actually be doing is going back to look at himself and his staff. I've always wanted to even say, let's be honest. You know that his assistant, that guy with the hair, the black, plenty of hair guy, that stands next to him. What is his role in the team? Let's just all be honest, because the other club look-alike, the little one, is obviously the guy that takes them on the training sections and fitnesses and all that. What is this guy? It's like maybe he doesn't come out to talk. He's very quiet, and if he's supposed to be defensive coach, he needs to be replaced. So what does he do? Is he just Klopp's hugging machine? Because every time we score, Klopp runs to him and gives him a huge hug. That's about all we see him do. In training, he's just standing still with Klopp. We don't see. I'm just very interested in terms of what he brings to the table. Because at this point, I believe Klopp needs to bring in a defense-minded consultant who's going to teach people how to actually defend. Because unfortunately, I don't think him or his team are doing a good job. But as I said, let's be positive. Keep the faith. We'll still come good. Still got over 29, 28 games to go. So all we still have is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So things will come good. Manchester City will drop points. Chelsea will drop points. Arsenal are dropping points as we speak. So things will improve. I believe that, and we still have a good chance of hitting that top 4. Keep faith. Things will be fine. It's just very, very disappointing. Like when you go with all that hope to kind of Wembley, believing that things are going to be better, and then you get smashed like that. It's just very disappointing. But don't worry, wake yourself back up. We'll be good. We'll beat Huddersfield. I'm quite confident of that because people want to make a point. And after that, everybody will be good. Okay, so that's my 2 cents, 2 pennies. Wow. This is Liverpool for you. You just gotta love them because this is what you get, Anyway, it's your boy speaking way down from Milton Keynes. Have a good day. I will come back to you before the week runs out or at the end of the match against Huddersfield. Ta-da. I'll speak to you later.